Break it down.
Clay, give us a little history. When did Walt Disney actually become an artist?
Well, if you get a chance to read books about him or kind of study, you'll find that he grew up on this farm. And on the farm, he was just bored out of his gourd. I mean, he was going, this is, I mean, we have kind of a farm. If you go to campclarkchickenpalace.com, you can kind of see the farm that we're working on. I think we have 21 chickens. Is that right? My kids are in the studio today. But, so we have 21 chickens right now. We've got 4 ducks. We have 4 ducks. So things are going good.
And the rooster.
And we think it's exciting because we haven't been around them before. But a lot of people who grew up on a farm, they don't interact with a lot of other families. They're not going to movies. They're not going to the... So he grew up on this farm, and he's going, you know what? To pass the time, I'm going to draw. And he found he became very fascinated in drawing and making little cartoons. And so right there on the farm in Missouri, without formal education, check it, without formal education, he learned how to become an artist. So if you're watching this right now and you're living on a farm, or we have one of our thrivers who literally is in the Sahara Desert right now.
Wow.
Broseph, if that's Broseph, you are walking through the Sahara right now. Seriously, you could just pull out a pad and start looking at other cartoons and trying to draw what you see. And that's what Walt did. He took pictures of other cartoons and tried to redraw them, and that's how he honed his craft.
Amazing. And I understand that at age 16, he dropped out of school to join the U.S. Army for World War I. However, I understand that he was rejected for being young. Can you break down a little bit of that for me? Yeah,
there's 3 big ideas I want to make sure that everyone gets here.
Okay.
So one for you is he dropped out of school. And I know there's somebody right now who needs to hear this right now. It's probably, I don't get super emotional about this, but if you're watching this and you've struggled. I talked to a lady the other day who dropped out of high school and felt like an idiot. And she's in her 40s. And she said watching one of these videos, she heard for the first time that a lot of successful people didn't do well in school. And she literally starts crying on the phone.
Wow.
And she's like, I just didn't know I qualified for success. And so I just want to throw out some people that I know just off the top of my head who are famous dropouts who've done well. Albert Einstein did not do very well in school. Okay, people thought he was retarded. They really did.
Yes.
Okay, you go, well, that's an extreme. Okay, well, fine. So Walt Disney, he didn't graduate. Well, that's an extreme. Okay, fine. Andrew Carnegie. He started working when the dude was like a young teenager, like 13 years old. He's working full time. Guess what? He didn't graduate from college. The world's wealthiest man ever, Rockefeller. He dropped out of high school. Steve Jobs dropped out of college. I don't know if Steve Jobs ever quite made it. I don't know if he ever became successful.
I don't know.
I mean, here, think about this. He gets invited to give the Stanford graduation speech when he, in fact, dropped out of college. Bill Gates, just for whatever. I mean, I don't know if Bill Gates is getting the traction in his career that he wants, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter if you drop out of school or if you stay in school. What matters is that you get practical education. He taught himself how to draw by looking at other cartoons and reverse engineering that. So I'm just telling you, if you right now don't feel qualified or don't feel appointed to be success, or you don't feel like you have the boxes checked and the diploma you need, stop thinking that. Your path to success starts right now. And that's what happened for Walt. It started right then. He drops out. He's 16 years old. He drops out. He wants to join the Army. Well, in the Army, you have to be a certain age. So they're like, homie, you can't join the Army because you're not old enough. And he's like, oh, come on. So he did lie about his age. He did lie, and I'm sure he lied like a rug, and I'm sure that he felt bad about it. But he became an ambulance driver in World War I.
Wow.
So he's running around in France. They're making. I'm sure all the stereotypes we have about the French are true, but they're making French fries, and they're over there, watching French films, and he's driving an ambulance. And check it out, he turned his ambulance into his art studio.
Tell me about that.
So whenever he would have times where he was waiting or sitting around or try to pass time, he would draw cartoons on the canopy. It used to be a canopy. We'll put a picture of this up.
Yeah.
There's ambulances used to be a material, like a material canopy. It wasn't a metal structure like it was today. It was almost like a covered wagon. And he would draw these animations in there. And people who were, obviously it's war, so people were shot, injured. People were suffering in pain. And they reported that they would see his pictures and it would bring them joy. And so he would draw more and more. And he realized for the first time that his pictures could bring people joy.
Amazing. So that's wow.
And this lady that I talked to the other day, I was telling you, who dropped out of school and has been struggling, she has this bakery. It's out on the West Coast. I don't want to give away her location right now. I'll just say it's a bakery. And she's just struggled. And she's just thought, well, I can't be successful until I get my MBA. And she's just bought into that lie that she can't be successful until she has this degree, that degree, whatever. And she, since I'm just a high school dropout, I guess I just don't have what it takes. And she's literally learning what she needs to learn on Thrive15.com, changing her life. That's what it's all about. So I just want to encourage you. You are the next Walt Disney. You can do this. Anybody can do this. I have no talent. And if I can do it, you can do it.